Good afternoon. I thought today would actually be great to talk a little bit more about the role that coaching is taking in, particularly in terms of talent development and talent management initiatives in companies, both globally and throughout Asia specifically. Sometimes coaching is being instituted as part of an overall approach to developing a group of people, maybe high potential talents. People who've been in the organization for 5 years or more have been identified as high potentials. They're in some kind of talent development program or management development program. And of course, some of that is facilitated learning, some of it's academic learning, some of it's technical learning. But also, increasingly, a component of that is becoming a coaching element or a coaching module. In addition, many companies are starting to look at what is the role of a coach, or is there a role, an offering for coaching for people who are very well developed in the organization, but, or I should say, and there's a gap in their competency level between where they are and maybe their next 1 or 2 levels. And the investment, the relatively small investment of a coach who can work while this person is still online, still performing their job, still doing what they need to do, and focus specific development needs to that individual is becoming more and more attractive to organizations, particularly the multinational and global international firms. Of course, there's the traditional role of coaching, and when I say traditional, when it was first instituted in terms of executive coaching, people who are right below or ascending in the corporate leadership role. And here there is, it is almost never remedial. It's not like there's some gap, something that, this is the top performer in the organization, somebody who's been part of what they're doing. Or perhaps somebody who is an executive in another company coming into a new culture, a new working environment. And in executive coaching, there really is the opportunity to have leader develop into the organization and leader develop within themselves to be really excellent at what they do. All of these are having an increased demand and increased focus on coaching and what is the coaching offers and how do we choose a coach and where do we go to find one. No two coaches really are the same in some instances, and unfortunately right now in terms of the industry you can't look up a directory of coaches and see that everybody has X metrics on qualifications, experience, and background. So I think it's increasingly important also for organizational leaders that are choosing coaches for whatever purpose, for talent development, for executive development, for executive leaders, is to really identify what are the outcomes that you're looking for. What is the return you're looking for what you're putting into it, both in terms of time and dollar investment. And interview a coach as you would interview somebody who's coming onto the team, because this person is going to have an intimate look at this team member at very least and to your organization. So it's important that the person who is coaching is a fit for the individual, and that's something for the individual client to discern. But it's also a fit for the culture of the organization, that they have some understanding or have the adaptability to understand what's really happening, what's going on there, and how can they contribute to that initiative. I think one of the reasons that coaching is getting more and more traction throughout the world and significant uptake in the last few years in Asia is that coaching really is a relationship. It is based on the relationship. And in many, many cultures that are around us, relationship is the basis of our, it's not about doing or what we produce, but what is our long-standing relationship. And I think that's also why it's producing some extraordinary results with those who are taking it up. It's important to know what you're using coaching for, why you would actually consider hiring a coach, what are the outcomes that you want, and is the coach a match for the individual and the organization you're choosing for.